on DC News Now.
The state of Maryland Health Department called and said, hey, your son has high lead levels and we need to get to the bottom of this.
Children exposed to lead across the U.S. We hear a Maryland mom's story about the harm it caused her son and the legislation now being proposed to protect kids.
It's going to be a little bit chilly to start the weekend, but we'll let you know when temperatures will start to warm up.
Fire dangers right under our feet.
We find that most incidents involving these batteries take place when they are being charged.
What caused a fire at an apartment building here in D.C. and the tips from firefighters.
Who knows, may take a week, maybe two, but however long it takes for them to understand.
On strike in Virginia, the contract dispute with Fairfax Connector and the headaches it could cause for your commute.
You're watching the station covering all of the DMV. This is DC News Now.
Hi, everybody. Thanks for joining us for DC News Now at 9 o'clock. I'm Chris Flanagan. All right, taking a live look outside on this cool and partly cloudy Friday night over the bridge in Roslyn. This cold air likely sticking around, at least for a little bit. Meteorologist Damon Matson in for Chief Janessa Webb tonight. And Damon, well, we'll see some sunshine at least this weekend as well.
Yeah, exactly right, Chris. I guess we'll have to take that balance, if you will. We're kicking out the clouds. We already kicked out the rainfall from earlier today, so we're losing the soggy weather. But unfortunately, we're not going to see temperatures like this out there on your Saturday. Today, we all got on the same page temperature-wise. We were able to jump into the 50s this afternoon before it started to, of course, cool down as we've gone into the evening. And looking outside, yes, the reason for a bit of a cool down, a cold front did sweep across the region. It took the rainfall with it. The clouds have even been clearing out for most of us, but there's a second cold front that is moving in. It's producing some light rain out across the mountains of western Maryland and West Virginia. And after that light precip works through, well, then we're going to see that much chillier air in place. So we will continue to have light precip in the mountains through the overnight hours, and then as we get into the start of the day tomorrow, there it is. We'll have temperatures in the 30s, and it looks like it's going to stay just that chilly as we progress into the middle of the morning on Saturday. But we'll let you know when temperatures will start to rebound later on in the weekend. Coming up in a full check of your forecast in just a bit.
All right, all new tonight. 3 people in the hospital tonight after a car drove into a nail salon in Prince George's County. You can see it here. It happened just after 4 along Annapolis Drive in Hyattsville. We're told all had non-life-threatening injuries. Meanwhile, the building has been condemned. Well, the county can inspect the structural strength of it. We have a commuter alert ahead of your weekend. Fairfax Connector announcing all of its bus routes are suspended through the weekend as its employees continue the strike that began yesterday. Our Northern Virginia reporter, Max Marcilla, joining us live from the Herndon Garage. And Max, we don't have a timeline for when those buses behind you, they can be back on the road.
Chris, we don't have a timeline. What we do know is it's not this weekend. These buses currently parked in the garage, well, they will be staying here. That's the plan. We don't know how long. We don't know if it'll be back in action for the start of your work week. So tonight, we're going to take a look at what's been going on and how all of it can impact your commute. As the sun sets on another week, still no resolution between the local transit workers union and Transdev, the contractor that runs the Fairfax Connector system.
Transdev wasn't taking it seriously.
Union workers have picketed each of the last 2 days, and they'll do so each of the next 2 days. They say they've been working under an expired contract since December, and in a new contract, they want true retirement security, more sick days, competitive wages for bus operators and mechanics, and balanced labor management rights.
Give your workers the dignity and respect that they deserve.
Transdev released a statement saying it has offered contracts that include wage increases, but workers say while that's true, the entire offer wasn't strong enough. Now, with bus transit in the county on a pause, the question remains, how long will this last? Tosin Fakile asked one union worker that question this morning.
Who knows, may take a week, maybe 2, but however long it takes for them to understand.
In the meantime, here's the advice from county officials. Carpool, take the Metro bus, Metro Rail, or VRE, or you could bike or walk. And Fairfax connectors shared on social media throughout the last few days just sort of updates as to the status of their bus operations. And we've seen in the comments and replies that some people have been frustrated. They wanted earlier communication of the suspension due to the strike. We also saw some people who said in that first day or two they were stranded and had to call a ride share, something that wasn't in their budget. So clearly some frustrations from riders. We told you about the alternative options that Fairfax County is putting forward, but here we are, and we don't know how long we'll be here, but we'll be sure to keep you updated. Reporting live in Herndon, Max Marcella, DC News Now.
All right, we'll see what happens, Max. Thanks. Meanwhile, developing now at 9 in the district, police are investigating what they are calling a homicide in Northeast. It's at the Ivy City Hotel. Police say they found a woman unconscious a little after 11 this morning. She died at the scene. Now, this is the same hotel that a Virginia woman was fatally stabbed in last March. In Maryland, a Prince George's County police officer is suspended without pay and facing some serious charges tonight. Corporal David Hardister was arrested this morning. He is charged with attempted murder in Charles County and second-degree assault in St. Mary's County. Investigators say he fired a service weapon during an altercation in Charles County just after 1 this morning. The assault charge is connected to an alleged domestic incident earlier that evening at his home in St. Mary's County. Corporal Hardister joined the department in 2005 and works in patrol. And a health alert tonight at 9. Maryland lawmakers, they're looking at ways to create safer baby foods. Comes after learning many products contain dangerous chemicals that could lead to lead poisoning. Our reporter Yamari Sase sat down with one Maryland mom whose child suffered from lead poisoning. He will now be the face of this new law if passed.
Good job.
The results for Rudy Callahan's 12-month doctor visit for a lead test wasn't what his parents expected.
The state of Maryland Health Department called and said, hey, your son has high lead levels and we need to get to the bottom of this.
They couldn't figure out how he was exposed until last October. That's when they learned the FDA issued a recall for the Wanna cinnamon applesauce pouches.
For it to have lead in it and us not have any idea and giving it to him, like it just made us feel like, you know, we weren't doing the best that we could, but we had no idea.
Doctors realized the now 18-month-old lead exposure is causing developmental delays, which causes a lot of worry for Sarah Callahan and her husband.
Lead poisoning is something that is 100% preventable, and for him to have been exposed it's senseless. So it's infuriating.
Dollar Stories is one of the reasons Maryland Delegate Danny Taveras proposed Rudy's Law.
Found a lot of food that unfortunately does contain arsenic, lead, cadmium, and mercury. And those are some really bad chemicals.
It requires baby food companies to test products for toxic heavy metals monthly before it hits the shelves, and also place a QR code on the packaging showing the results.
What matters to me is that we put out a safe product for children.
Now, the bill currently sits in the House committee awaiting review, and Sarah and her husband believe if Rudy's Law passes, parents and their children will be much safer.
If we can help families and move past this experience, you know, it is worth it sharing our story.
Reporting in Maryland, I'm Yamari Sase, DC News Now.
All new tonight, D.C. police investigating a robbery at a jewelry store in Northwest. Police say 3 suspects smashed a window and grabbed merchandise inside that store. That window, you can see here, is boarded up tonight. 3 men were wearing ski masks, took off in a red Honda Accord. If you have any information, call D.C. police. And take a look here. Police looking for this suspect. They say he's connected to 8 armed robberies in Prince George's County. The first one was in November, the latest on January 30th. Police say he targets businesses near Livingston Road and Indian Head Highway. So far, he's targeted multiple convenience stores, cell phone stores, and you can see here, fast food restaurants. Anyone with information should reach out to Prince George's County Police. Well, fire officials are warning people take precautions after yet another lithium-ion battery started a fire last night in D.C. Our Daniel Hamburg explains what the warning signs are.
They're in scooters, skateboards, bicycles, and cars, and we're seeing more cases of lithium-ion batteries igniting.
We find that most incidents involving these batteries take place when they are being charged.
Vito Maggiolo with DC Fire and EMS says that was the case Thursday night when an electric skateboard caught fire in a Northwest apartment building.
The batteries had gone into thermal runaway, which means they heat up rapidly, they ignite explosively, they create a tremendous amount of smoke.
Maggiolo says once lithium-ion batteries go into thermal runaway, they can reignite sometimes many hours later. That's why the hazmat unit was called.
They came in, they put it in an overpacking device, they covered it with a material, and they took it away to be properly disposed of.
We've seen other fires cause problems, including this scene at Dulles Airport last August, caused by a lithium-ion battery in a police Segway. And this house fire in December in Sandy Spring, Maryland, caused by a charging lithium-ion battery in the garage.
Don't charge these things at night, overnight, just leave them charging. Never put them in a place where if they do ignite, they're going to keep you from getting out of your home safely.
Maggiolo says only use the manufacturer's charging cables. Stop using your device if the battery starts to emit an odor or you notice fluids leaking out, if there's a change in color, if it's hot to the touch, or if it starts making odd noises. In the district, Daniel Hamburg, DC News Now.
All right, DC News Now is entering into a brand new sports partnership beginning today. Our sports director, Derek Forrest, joining us here in studio with an announcement that Derek should make a whole lot of soccer fans pretty happy.
Yes, certainly, Chris. We are very excited to announce Game Night is now your official home for all things Loudoun United FC. We have entered a partnership as the official media sponsor for the team. This will include broadcasting all 17 home games, exclusive access to players and coaches, and a special edition of Game Night for each one of those home games. Now, Loudoun United's home opener is March 16th over at Segra Field, and it's a 3-year partnership with Loudoun United FC, and certainly one I'm excited to be a part of. You mentioned it earlier. It's the inside access, getting to know these guys, the features.
Go behind the curtain a little bit and see what happens. Yeah, it's going to be great. We can't wait for that.
Yeah,
good stuff. Derek, thanks.